What's up, y'all? Pastor Dave right here and Lady G, and we are here with Wedded Wednesdays. And I thank y'all for following us and subscribing and hitting us up on all of our social media networks. And we have an awesome subject for you today, and we're going to be talking about infidelity. Infidelity in our marriages. And it's a very touchy subject because a lot of us have experienced that and been through that, and it is a very trying thing to get through. But where do you go from infidelity? Where do you go from there? And there is life after that. And we're going to talk about infidelity. A lot of times we look at infidelity as somebody going out, somebody cheating or whatever, and that's the end of a marriage. It does not have to be. It does not have to be the end of your marriage. And I can speak from experience because I've been in that situation where I've been the one that has not been 100% loyal in my marriage. And I can speak to that. I thought it was over, but God gave us a second chance at marriage, even in the midst of infidelity. And a lot of people don't know in the Bible that that is the only place where God gave credence to divorce. That's the only time where God said you can divorce your spouse is if that spouse has been unloyal. And you can have life after infidelity. So a lot of things lead to infidelity, but it's always wrong. A lot of things lead to it. Sometimes pride leads to it. A whole lot of different things lead to it. Insecurity leads to it. And it goes both ways. It can be neglect. Infidelity can be on the wife's side. It can be on the husband's side. And we just can't look at it one-sided. And if you're dealing with infidelity in a marriage, the only way you can get through it is if there's total forgiveness in the midst of that. Yes. That has to be completely forgiven. What do you got to say about that?
Yeah, I definitely agree with the forgiveness part, because if you're going to try to move forward and you still, love your spouse and you want to make things work and you want to move forward, you have to forgive with your whole heart. There's no way that you can say from your mouth, okay, I forgive you, and then you move on, and then 2 days later you're back down his throat again about the same old issues. That is going to be very, very miserable. You're going to be miserable. You're going to be frustrated every day you open your eyes and you're looking at him, and all you can see, this picture has just been painted before you, what he's done, how he made you feel. You're just frustrated. He's walking on stones and marbles, eggshells, and whatever else he's walking on to make sure that he's not crossing your path the wrong way while you're in your most vulnerable state. So you want to make sure that if you love your spouse, if you love him, and you know that you guys could really, really make it work, I said, forgive him with your whole heart, and let him know that you forgive him. God forgives him, and I'm sure that he's repented and he's made the necessary steps with his own private relationship. And just, forgive. You have to forgive, because if you don't, you're not going to have a marriage. No. There's not going to be peace in your relationship. There's not going to be peace in your home. You're going to constantly continue to replay the thought of your spouse being unfaithful to you over and over and over and over again. If you know that you can't do that, if you know that, okay, you know what, I'll never trust him again, I can never just do this again, then it's okay.
Best to let it go.
Let it go. Y'all just depart. And make your, depart from one another, go your separate ways, depart peacefully if you can. And, but if you can, if you know, okay, well, I know my husband is messed up. I know, he's, hurt me, to my core, but I love him. And I want to make my marriage work. And I'm going to take the necessary steps and making sure that I do my part. My part is to forgive him. My part is not, we don't forget it. We don't forget it. It's not easy. Sometimes as time go by, you don't even think about the nonsense or whatever. Like me, it happened. We got through it. Was it easy? No.
No.
Did I have those moments to where I brought it back up? Yes, I did. Did I have moments to where it consumed my thoughts and it overwhelmed me, and I would pick up video games, I would pick up things, bass, whatever in that moment, because I would get so angry.
Xbox 360.
I picked up an Xbox 360 with my hand, one hand,
And threw it
and
at
I
me.
threw it.
Down the steps.
I threw it, yeah. I got so angry, and I didn't know how to
Broke my
deal
arm.
with, seriously, sweetie, I didn't know how to deal with my emotions. I just know what I was feeling. I know I was mad. I know I was hurt. And like they always say, that slogan, hurt people, hurt people. And all I know is I was hurting, and I just wanted it to go away, but I wanted help at the same time. I just didn't know who I could trust. I didn't know who to talk to, who had been in my shoes, that know what I'm dealing with, that is still yet in their marriages and yet, gone through this stuff and know how to help me. I didn't know who to go to. I didn't know who to talk to. So therefore, I kept all of those feelings bottled up inside, and it wasn't good for me. It wasn't good for me.
And you have to be careful who you talk to.
Absolutely.
In the midst of dealing with something like this.
Yeah.
Because you can mess around and talk to somebody who's already bitter in their own situation.
Yeah.
And misery loves company. And
Yeah.
they'll try to edge you on. You don't have to don't deal with that.
Yeah, don't go
this,
back,
and
because it
that,
doesn't. Because
this, and that.
know what they say? Once a cheater,
Always a cheater.
always a cheater.
But that's not true.
Yeah, once an offender, is always an
Because
offender.
that's like saying once a murderer, always a
Always,
murderer.
no.
No,
Things happen.
Not if somebody murdered somebody in self-defense and they get charged with murder, that doesn't make them continuously a murderer. They did it one time. So, and with that infidelity, it's not just a sexual, physical thing. You can have infidelity in your mind.
Yep.
A lot of people don't want to think about
In
that.
conversation.
In your conversation,
And,
you can think it if you're lusting
Yes.
after somebody.
Yep.
And just because somebody did it and you almost did it but you didn't.
It starts here.
It's still there in your mind and you thought to do it. So of course you don't have to. You got to check that.
Yep.
You got to check that thought. You got to check that mind. How your mind is processing that. Now, I'm not saying you got to go announce everything that you thought. You know, that thank God you just thought it and people can't read your thoughts, but you know what you thought about.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when you're dealing with infidelity, be careful because that opposite sex will try to sneak in there knowing what you dealt with and offer you conversation. And offer you something else that kind of make you kind of get away from your marriage. But if God has put you together, the Bible says, whatever God has put together, let no man or woman put asunder. So if God has put you together and you know your marriage is worth fighting for and you want to work it out, you can get through infidelity. You can get through it. You can get past it. You can live with it. You can live.
You can love again.
You can love again.
You can trust again.
Absolutely.
You can respect him or her again. You can get through it, but you have to. It took God, and I thank God for my dad who was alive at during that time. In the beginning, I didn't know how to approach the situation with my parents. I didn't know how. I was embarrassed. I was ashamed, and I don't know why I was I don't know why I was feeling this way. What did my mom tell me? She was like, I know that you are hurting. I've never gone through this, so I can't tell you what you're feeling. I don't know. She said, I'm just telling you as your mom, but I'm here to support you through it. So I told my dad, I said, bump all of that because I was so angry. I said, no, I'm going to give him a taste of his medicine. He wants to go do that because that's where I was mentally. So now the hurt is talking. The hurt is, just overtaking me. And I told my dad, no, I'm going to let him see how it feel. I'm going to let him see how it feel. I'm going to go out and I'm going to do worse than what he did. My dad was like, are you serious? Like, I don't care. You can't outdo a man. What do you think thinking about? And why would you even lower yourself to even, to come down to that, or whatever the case may, bring yourself down? Why would you even think about doing that? My dad had to check me. He had to bring me back in. He had to talk to me as a man. Now, forget about all of that, the infidelity and what had taken place. No, he had to gain control, help me to gain control of my thoughts and what I was feeling and what I was speaking at the end of the day. And he shed this huge light. And it brought me back to, like, you know what? You are so right, Dad. You are so right. You are so right. I'm not going to just bring myself down, because this is my body, and just can't anybody have my body. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not just gonna go out and lay with every Tom, Dick, and Harry to prove a point to someone that hurt me. That's where we make mistakes. Right. Don't try to go out, and because what they've done to you, you want to come back and you want to retaliate. You want to do all of these different things. Let me tell you something. It's not worth. You're gonna feel much worse.
Now you're playing a game.
Now it's a game, and it's a dangerous game.
Absolutely,
it's a dangerous game. So don't do that. Like, again, we're gonna go back to where we were. If you feel that in your mind and you don't have anybody to talk to. I don't have a dad. I don't have anybody that could just sit down and just say that. But I'm gonna do what I want to do anyway. I pray that you don't do that, because listen, I'd rather you go ahead, go your separate ways, and just, pray and ask God to send you somebody else, and you just leave that particular marriage or that relationship alone. Don't do that, because it's a very dangerous game, and not only that, you're still gonna be hurt. You're gonna go down, and you're gonna try to outdo what he did to you, and then after that, you're gonna feel even worse. You're gonna feel so much worse than what it is.
Contrary to popular belief, infidelity is never about who you went out with.
Right.
Because it's never about, it's always inner. Mm-hmm. It's always within that person. And a lot of times when somebody has stepped out, they're looking for everybody to blame.
Everybody.
Looking for this one to blame, looking for that one to blame, looking for that person to blame. It's all inner.
Yep.
It's all within you.
Yep.
So you have to come to grips with yourself. You have to ask yourself for forgiveness. You got to forgive yourself before you can ask anybody else to forgive you.
Right.
So, and I, like I said, I've been there, and that was all in me. I can't blame it on my mom, my dad. Oh, my mama used to do this. My father used to do that. Mm-hmm. All the people I was hanging with. No. You take ownership of it. And when you can take ownership of it, there's no true forgiveness for you until you take ownership of it. Yes. So when you take ownership of it, then you can move on.
Right. And you didn't do anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. Because these questions, I know it comes up in a lot of.
What's wrong with me? Why did she go out on me?
Why did she go out on me? Why did he go out on me? Because it's first, women cheat, men cheat. Or they're unfaithful in some kind of way. It's just, this thing is not one-sided. It happens every day. It's every day part of life for some. But there is nothing wrong with you. You didn't do anything wrong. Sometimes they're just battling with what's on the inside of them. You'd be surprised. Some people are dealing. They have insecurity. They don't feel like you're giving them the attention that they need, you're not giving them enough, then they go to, she's stroking me in a way, she's talking to me, or she's stroking me, she's doing what I like, and that's how things, tends to, get out of hand. Not that you've done anything wrong, she's just stroking him, with the conversation or whatever it is, or whatever they choose to use or whatever, and it's stroking their ego. Some men, some women, egos need to be stroked, and sometimes if they don't get these things from their spouse, they allow the enemy to creep in and to steal their mind and to start to will them away from who's important in their life. So you got to be careful in this situation. Even if you're just saying, you may be separated, you might be thinking about possibly trying to make your marriage work again, but get that out of your mind. You did nothing wrong. Sometimes we're in the crossfire of what our spouses or our significant others have, the choices that they've made and the things that they've done. or whatever. Sometimes we're just in the crossfire of what they're battling through and what they're trying to get through. So you don't hold that, take you out of the equation, because I'm telling you, man, woman, it ain't you. It ain't you. It's them. It's what they're wrestling with on the inside of them. And if you can stay, if you can work it out,
and
you can help them.
I got a
you can
way
help
to
them to
prove,
get through
I
that.
got a way to prove that, because and I had to counsel people in this, and I have no problem with doing that, because I've been there. And like I said, me and my wife, we've experienced just about anything you can experience in a marriage. But on this particular, it was something I did not experience. It was a woman, and her husband kept going out, cheating on her with other men. So she's saying, what can I do? What more can I do? What can I do? Is there any way I can do my hair different? If I could put a different kind of makeup on? I said, listen, daughter, he wants
he wants a stick.
that. I didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
Unless you can grow a penis, there is no way you can satisfy him. So that's nothing that you can do. That's within him.
Yeah, nothing wrong with you.
That's within him. He wants a
stick.
A stick. A tallywhacker. Let's call that.
Right.
Let's call it that. He wants a tallywhacker.
Right.
And you don't have that.
You don't have it.
So what are you going to do? Grow one?
Right.
So it's nothing that you can do more. That's him coming to grips with himself and getting deliverance from himself. And then you can, once he comes to deliverance in himself, then you can work on that. You can probably try your best to how a woman gonna compete with a man that want a man?
You can't compete with that.
You know, you can get the best wig you want. That don't matter.
No.
You don't got a ping pong.
That's right.
So that's the gist of this. And with infidelity, never feel like it's something that you've done wrong. It's always the person that has to look within themselves.
Because the enemy, that's what he starts. He starts telling you all of these lies. He starts putting it in your head, telling you, oh, well, it was you, or if you would have been a little bit more,
lose weight and all that stuff.
if you would have lost weight, or if you would have been a little bit more present, if you would just communicate with me a little bit more better, you could just cook, or if you all of these things, if you would have just done a little bit more, if all of this stuff just the enemy will just bring all of this stuff, and you'll sit there alone and you're playing all of this stuff in your mind, and then you start blaming yourself. Girl,
devil is a liar.
Man, no.
Don't blame yourself.
Don't blame yourself, because this thing, he or she did what they wanted to do. They made those choices, and you weren't in them, and you didn't have anything to do with that. Those were the choices that they made. And unfortunately, when it's all said and done, it still hurt me. Once I found out, it still hurt me to just sit there to talk to you and to know how you were feeling and how it made you feel, and where you were mentally with it, because you were struggling mentally with that thing. So to see him in the space that he was in, God still softened my heart to show him compassion. Listen, a lot of people can't do that. It was like, oh no, I want you to feel this good. I'm glad you feel it. No, God did something in me, and he gave me compassion as the days and as the months went by towards him.
Because nobody wants to hurt the person they love.
No.
When you hurt the person you love, you hurt yourself.
Yeah.
So in this episode, I'm hoping that we were able to help you.
Yeah.
When you're married, you are one. When I hurt her, I hurt. When she hurts me, she hurts. So in a marriage, infidelity hurts both.
Yes.
Hurts both of you. So I hope we were able to help you. This has been another episode of Wedded Wednesdays. We want you to follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rad Skies.
RADDSKYES. Remember to subscribe.
Boy, she can spell.
Like, share, comment, give us your feedback on the pages. Go to our Instagram and our Facebook pages at Wedded Wednesdays. Comment, let us know if you have anything you want us to talk about, or certain topics that you would like for us to share. Put it in the comments. We'll love to share it with the people and put it together for you. Looking forward to coming back at the same time, same day, to bring you more and more content. And thank you so much again for tuning in.
God bless you. We love y'all. Peace.